Hello, I am your unofficial Australian board game correspondent, and today it is turtle time. Heck yeah. I am so excited. The one benefit, I guess, when it comes to board games and living in Australia is that a lot of the time, most of these crowdfunding campaigns will be fulfilled down here before the rest of the world. So, sucked in everywhere else. Nah, that's probably not polite. No, I am a big fan of Unmatched and Turtles, as you can see here. One of my many assorted mats. And this came today. I am so excited. So Unmatched Adventures is the co-op version of Unmatched. And the beauty of it is that all the characters in this box can be cross-compatible with the other characters that already exist. And I will be doing some more Unmatched content on the channel. And that is mainly because I just want to play as a T-Rex from Jurassic Park. And I am now loving the idea of the T-Rex from Jurassic Park against any of these turtles. All right, get that in the middle. Oh, sick. Okay, let's check out to the side. Now, classic in here, we've got some future reference things. A lot of different languages on here. What language should we pick today? I cannot read Irish or any of those. I always find it fascinating. Like, see, here's the interesting thing, right? So you've got, English and then Bulgarian. So I guess that probably goes alphabetical after that. But Restoration Games will always be the same one. Cool. Okay, just some promo for some of the other sets that are out here. I wonder if will they have Bruce Lee in here? Muhammad Ali and Bruce Lee? Does not look like it, but so what is that? Dinosaur at a tea party? That is horrifying. Look at the little bow tie. Someone in the graphic design was having the time of their life. I am really excited for Bruce Lee versus Muhammad Ali because I've been kind of collecting this game since its inception. So that was always a kind of grail set. And here you've got the special rules for each of the turtles. Feel free to pause if there's no glare on the screen right now. But I'm really excited to see how they are going to bring all these unique characters to life. So there's the adventure rule set, which we'll ignore for now. And now it begins. Let's take a look. So this is what we'll be looking at in terms of the dials. And I think they've done such a good job. Look at Raph as I knock the camera there. I'm just way too excited. Yeah, look at that. The purple's really nice and vibrant on here in Donatello. And then you've got the next one. Look at the boss boards. They've done such a good job. Okay, so New York City is the map. Who cares about the map? Let's go straight into the minis. Okay, so coming up first, Mikey. Holding a pizza. It's probably, I think that's the thing. It's literally pepperoni pizza. I don't know if you can really see that, but he's got a little bit of pep in his step, riding the skateboard there, as he should. And you've got Raph leaning across a rooftop, looking all ominous and attacky. Look at that. Look at them dogs. Look at the dogs and the turtles, split foot webbing. And then, of course, nice Leo here, just with his two swords, his two katanas looking like a boss. And then this little nerd. Yeah, I don't know why. I think justice for Donnie. We'll get some of that up in there. Okay, so then here you've got the decks. Great art, classic Unmatched art. Just with all of the content on here. I haven't actually seen a lot of what the abilities are for each of these characters. So it'll be interesting to kind of look through when I eventually do go in there. Anything under here? Yes, a second tray. All right, here we go. Now, these have always been the bane of my existence, just assembling the dials, but that'll be something I will get to do. We've got some nice acrylic tiles for the various parts of the game, including some of the minions, which I'll have to go through and put into the other one. Then we have Shredder with a beautifully pre-painted purple. Absolute icon. Look at that guy. And then look at this. Oh, man. I think they called him Kang. No, Krang, with the little pink pre-painted bit there as well. Now, my favorite thing, or one of my favorite things, there's a lot of favorite things I have. Look at the size of this. It's a little chunky boy, and there's not a lot of that usually in Unmatched, because Unmatched is very much, purely card-based. So having a die in here does get my juices flowing, the proverbial juices. Cool. Yeah, I'm really excited. I think the Unmatched Adventure system is quite interesting. There is a lot to it when they do a really good job at capturing that kind of unmatched feel, but making it playable for that solo and co-op. Who am I going to pick, right? Am I going to play as Leonardo? Am I going to play as Nikola Tesla? Anyway, let's get a look into some of these cards. All right, so starting with Donatello. So it looks like his main ability is that when you maneuver, you can draw 2 cards instead of 1, and you can then put a card in your hand on the bottom of your deck. And these are the invention cards as well. So these will only be 1 use. I don't know if there will be a way to get them back based on from what I had a look at here. But what I did find interesting was that there were some cards where you add the boost value of the bottom card of your deck. So what that would mean is that if you plan your moves accordingly, you would then be able to put a card, there you go. You can put a card in your hand on the bottom of your deck that you might not use but has a good boost value just to add to your attack, which really leans into his whole, planning for every situation, master strategist kind of vibe. And also look at the purple, look at the backs of that. It's so cool though. Don't know why he won't just drop a grenade. He could take out William Shakespeare with a grenade. And you got Leo. So Leo, he has the master tactician trait, which I guess they reflect here with just his ability to move any fighter 1 space. So that would be good for games where someone might be playing Invisible Man potentially, and they're just trying to run around, and you can really get them to come off the cloud or the fog tokens, which will make it slightly easier. I know I spend most of my time as Invisible Man just teleporting and running away. But looking through here, some really nice art and a lot just about movement and doing those attacks. Well, look at that. It's really cool. I am really excited to see this set release because, unfortunately for me, I may have pre-ordered Super Fantasy Brawl, the Reborn, because, Mortal Kombat and also TMNT being 2 licensed things. I have been wanting a Mortal Kombat game for ages, and I know that there was that one by the same company that did the Street Fighter one, but that ended up kind of falling through. And now, once again, with all the CMON troubles, it looks like Super Fantasy Brawl fans might miss out. That game just might be cursed, from Mythic to there. Anyway, Raphael, on each of your turns, the first time you lose combat, gain an action. So this makes it really interesting in terms of tactics, because you could try and lose something on purpose, meaning that you will get an extra action. So you have to kind of be smart. I think with Raphael, being able to maneuver yourself into the right situations so that you can get that second attack and try and bait out those defense cards are going to be the key to success for him. But look at that. It's got any number of defense or versatile cards. Yeah, just all the rage. I think I would love to see a matchup between Raphael and Daredevil. I feel like that would be so interesting. And I'm a big fan of Casey. I think anything that's kind of remotely sport related, I always will gravitate towards. Where's my Tom Brady versus Cristiano Ronaldo unmatched set? That's what I'm really trying to get at here. Why can't there be Tony Hawk? I'd love to you have Michelangelo versus Tony Hawk. If that is Like, if I muttered that sentence, people would either think I'm talking about Fortnite or Unmatched. Anyway, speaking of Mikey, look at this. After you attack or scheme, draw a card, but the maximum hand size is only 3. So it becomes a little harder, but as you'll see kind of in here, he has lots of ways, different heals. You can also deal damage and do a lot of cycling. I think that's where his power is going to be, trying to figure out how you can cycle cards, because not having a lot of options is going to be difficult. And that is where people are going to struggle with Michelangelo. But if you are able to properly cycle through your deck and get those options to play a lot of cards and draw cards, even like with Cowabunga here, you get a lot of value for that. That is what is going to kind of set the good Michelangelo players apart. But I guess, you know, some may argue, why should I bother playing Mikey when I can just kind of have more set and more rewarding gameplay through Donatello or like Leo or Raph? And that's completely up to you. Who am I to dictate why you should do something or why you shouldn't? What I can dictate is where this video goes next, and I think we should take a look at the map. Yeah, so taking a look at the map here, classic New York. So when you're against Shredder, you will be here on New York, and then on the backside, you have the Technodrome, where we have some nice, really cool, crangy colors going on here. I don't actually know much about how the gameplay will work specifically. I know that for Krang, he's got different cards. He's also got the die, which will probably just mess a lot of things up and really bring the dimension into our world. But I am more excited to play against Shredder in New York, because that's my kind of jam. So I know that as you're kind of going on through here, there will be the burrows that go under threat. You add foot soldiers there, and then all these different burrows can fall. So you really are trying to save New York from the Shredder blight. So yeah, and that's not all with the the hole here that we have to crack open. The last stuff we have here are these alternate art card packs. Now, I do not remember how much extra they charged for these, or no, I think they were part of the stretch goals actually. Yeah, so luckily for all of us out there that have backed this game, this was included. And I guess the thing with Unmatched, it's just the art that is phenomenal. So having more art is really such a genius idea. I know that with the storage solutions, when they did the storage solutions, I got the art prints, I think. And I wish I got the sleeves, because having those sleeves would also make it such a cool experience. But without further ado, I present to you all of these. Cool. So if you see that as well, you've got the signature foiling there, which is so sick. And you've got your classic kind of turtle look. But yeah, all of these done by Kevin have his signature hidden. I guess it's not really hidden because it's literally gold. But look at the beautiful artwork there. And then of course you have the full picture, which is so nice. As we move on here, Andrew does not have the gold foiling, just has a more lifelike approach. And then here you go, classic turtles. That's gonna make so many people happy. Well, that one sneak in. Oh, it must be done by, because it's done by character. And then you got that interpretation, and look at that. That's just baller. The last time I used that as an adjective, who knows? But yeah, it's just, oh, look how cute that is. Sorry. Here's the thing, I look at these and I just go, look at how many talented people exist out there in the world. And then here I am just trying to benefit from their beautiful abilities. Look at that. Oh, phenomenal. Yeah, I really do like the classic turtle look. I think, oh, look at that. Oh, that's adorable. Other thing, I also bought into HeroClix, and I remember I did get the TMNT set from that. So I do already have a bunch of minis, which I could use, but I just love how cute those ones are. It's adorable. And then, oh, look at that. That is so fitting for this October vibe. Who would love to see that, right? Casey takes Manhattan instead of Jason takes Manhattan. I wish there was a lot more foiling. I think that's the one thing. I know I did get those promo cards. I am a big Daredevil fan, so I know that with a lot of those ones, I managed to grab some of those foil ones, which are really cool. But yeah, there's just, again, so many talented people out there just, just making all these beautiful things. I keep knocking the camera. Do apologize. That's nasty. Damn. Slash black and white. That looks fascinating. Anyway, so that is everything that comes with, I guess, your base pledge as well. There is also this add-on that lets you play as Shredder and Krang as actual characters, which is so cool. So this lets you just take them away from being the no good evildoers from Unmatched Adventures, and you could answer the questions that people ask, such as who would win between Shredder and William Shakespeare, or what would you do if Krang came up to Houdini? That's the thing. It's like, and I said it before, but is Unmatched the Fortnite of video games? That does beg the question. My issue with that is I don't know if someone's going to think that that's a negative take, because I'm saying that in purely the happiest form of comparison, because Fortnite's wild out there. I think I logged in the other day and I got absolutely domed by someone playing as Jason Voorhees, who was wearing Jordans. Jason Voorhees in Jordans. And then, you've got the abilities there. The Shredder, start your turn, deploy foot soldier to a path adjacent to friendly fighter. So he'll be just about kind of getting people out onto the board and playing around with the minions. I think it'd be really cool if Unmatched would get some more IPs. I know I was hearing some stuff about potentially Hellboy. Again, I don't really know much about Hellboy, but people seem to be really happy. I know I've always wanted some DC representation. I feel like us DC fans are underrepresented here. I'm going to start again from that. I was just too excited to see what the other ability was. But no, I would love to see, some more DC representation in games. I think there's a lot of Marvel stuff out there. I know there is a DC deck building game. Recently, DC Forever came out, which was another asymmetric deck building game, which was very interesting. Great concept. I think it was a little hard to get into for new people. I'd love to see if they expand on that more as well. But that's the thing where, I've always wondered, for people that have all these intellectual properties, how do you choose which characters to license out? Is there a quota? I know with Teen Spirit, I think Teen Spirit with Unmatched, I did not know who Squirrel Girl was or who I guess Cloak and Dagger were. And then now, you play Marvel Rivals and they're there. Cool, and now we've got Krang here. So Krang's got his 3 Doomsday machines, and you roll the die of Ultimate Destruction. Again, with that die, you can deactivate a machine to re-roll it, add +1 to your move value for each active machine. And I assume that there would be a lot of cards in here that play around with the die. See, I reckon Krang's going to be really fun to play. But the Turtles have been everywhere. Smite, I remember when the Turtle skins came out in Smite, I had no idea who Krang was. But it's great. I'm loving being able to discover people's favorite intellectual properties just through games. Just through random niches. It's like I recently started watching Lord of the Rings. I don't think I've ever seen Lord of the Rings before, but I saw the Balrog. I was like, oh yeah, that's like a 4-cost red card from Magic. I digress. Anyway, that is Unmatched Adventures Turtles. And I'm really excited. I'm happy that I have it. But I'm really excited to kind of really dig into it. And we'll see what ends up going on the channel, hey? Cool. That's it from me. I've been your unofficial Australian board game correspondent, and this is how I spend my money.